Hi everyone, I'm Abby and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. Now last episode we finished the second part of the second case, the Turnabout Airlines, so we're gonna finish the third part today. Yeah. Wow, so this is the cargo hold, huh? So big. This plane is a special model. It's both a super large cargo hold and ultra luxurious first class seating. So is this the real scene of the murder? There's certainly a high probability of that, which is why we are here, correct? Okay, let's get investigating, sir. Holy suitcases, Mr. Edgeworth. It's like an all-you-can-use suitcase fair. Spit out the leftover ones they couldn't sell. The ones the company is planning to dispose of after this fight is over. This paint job is really cool, don't you think? Practically screams artsy. Oh, and I purchased one then. I'm sure it'll bring you much happiness. You think so? Maybe I will. Let's see here. $1,200. I think I'll pass. And Mr. Nero wonders why they don't sell. I need 2 jobs just to buy one. Although, it definitely looks like one is missing. What is this brittle substance I'm stepping on? It's a bunch of glass fragments? Yeah. Hey, what's with the suitcase, pal? So the victim checked in, sir. So the suitcase belonged to Mr. Hicks? I don't think he'd mind if we took a closer look. There's nothing out of the ordinary in here, sir. Wait, a file? There's a photo of Miss Von Karma in it, sir. Looks like a profile on Franziska. Why would Mr. Hicks have had a file on her? You arrived at the scene of the crime before Detective Gumshoe, correct? And you would then immediately begin to direct the investigation. It seems to me that you're already here at this airport for something besides this murder. Yes, I was. I've been following a very large and involved governmental level international crime, but it's much too large for one person to take on alone. So it was decided that I should form a joint investigation with Interpol. Interpol is involved? It's a top secret operation, so I really can't tell you any more than I already have. Okay. I think we can safely conclude these fragments are from a broken pair of glasses. The victim was wearing a pair of broken glasses. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm sure that the shards match up perfectly with the remnants of this glasses lenses. Ergo, the victim was here, just as I suspected. So you're saying that the real scene of the crime was here, sir? Isn't that what I've been saying for a while now? Oh, is it? I didn't know that. Perhaps it's a bit too early to draw that conclusion. However, I believe the probabilities just skyrocketed considerably. All that's left is to find the murder weapon. Now, why would Mr. Hicks have documented profiling Franziska? Oh, I know. Bet he's a big fan of Miss Von Karma, sir. Franziska said she had come to this airport as part of an Interpol investigation. Oh, maybe Mr. Hicks had heard she was coming over and he followed her. Detective, I think that's more likely that Mr. Hicks was in actuality Interpol agent Hicks. I think Franziska has some explaining to do. You came to this airport to rendezvous with a victim, didn't you? Nonsense. What are you talking about? We found a profile detailing information about you and the victim's luggage. I suppose we prepared for him so he could recognize you when he landed, which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol agent Hicks. Isn't that correct? I should have known you'd figure it out, Miles. It looks like we got to him first. So really did you come in to receive an Interpol agent then? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. He went undercover to investigate this crime. It was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. Never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. I think we now have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Higgs came down here to the cargo hold. But what was he doing down here, sir? Something about luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe he forgot something in his suitcase and came down to get it. Ow! Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason. Of that, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he's here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francisco, do you know exactly how we intended to pursue his investigation? No. Unfortunately, I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see. But this raises another question. A normal passenger can't access the cargo hold on their own. Agent Hicks must have identified himself to a member of the crew and entered the cargo hold with that person who let him in. Yes, and then he was murdered here. His glass fragments and his broken glasses are a testament to that. And then the killer put Agent Hicks to one of the spare suitcases and they entered the elevator. But while they were riding it up, the plane hit the patch of turbulence. Because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Hicks' body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Which explains why there was money scattered all over the elevator floor. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Tenero. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have shown Agent Hicks to the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is the key card that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such high-level access is Miss Rhoda Tenero. I think that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you say? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that.
Hold it!
But it's highly likely the keycard was stolen from Miss Tenero. It's highly likely. Is that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself as a disciple of my father. Ugh. Yes, well, I don't have any evidence. Be quiet. You're a disgrace. There's more evidence pointing to Miss Rhoda Tenero, you know. It's not just the key card that gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon, Captain Hugo Piggy Bank? Yes, she's also the only person with the key to open that display case. Further, there is the matter of the key to the display case that held the murderous bank.
Hold it!
But that is a fake. Stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insisting that it's a fake, then what is the real murder weapon and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold to come up empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help me rule out the piggy bank as a murder weapon. It should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon. Francisco, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh, was I? Yes. We don't even have the autopsy report results yet. How can I not say that you made a snap judgment when you have yet to even see if the wound to Agent Hicks's head is consistent with a murder weapon? Scruffy! Yes, sir. Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I wish to hear the results from Agent Hicks's autopsy. Eek! Yes, sir! We've got a big problem, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy where they said they already know this one thing for sure. Report. Now. Doc said it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. From the victim's shoulder to his mid-back? He was beaten over such a wide area? Well, so maybe it's a sign the killer had a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. The killer went all out and hit him multiple times, sir. Scruffy, what does had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Well, that's, Was the wound on the victim's head consistent with the murder weapon, detective? Oh, well, we said that we're still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless. Youch! Sir, I told you already, you can't go down there. No, you remove yourself from my way. What is all that racket? My luggage, my cargo. They're mine and I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo hold. Please understand I have a little patience. I suppose there was no choice. Finally, I think you get. Hey, what are you? You've left me no choice to do strong force. Arr! You won't get past me. This is. Wait, that's it. So that's what this whole thing's been about. Further, there was the matter of the key to the displaced case to help the murderous bank. After all, you know that we've searched the entire cargo hold and came up empty-handed. The doc said it's Sunshine bruised from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over, which is why there was extensive bruising over such a wide area. Is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. If we're looking for a rather large weapon, you'd think it would stick out. So far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps, just perhaps, it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally, it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What was that all about? Was he trying to jump his way down here? Franziska? What? What do you want? I found her, Franziska. I found the real murder weapon. You did? He really jumped. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs. There's that pompous attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. This comes from a prosecutor with the habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then go back yourself up with evidence. You two aren't listening at all, are you? Come on then, show me the murder weapon you speak of. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? Perhaps I should have phrased it as that which caused Agent Hicks' death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured it was the real cause of death. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. He fell to his death? Yes, it's the only plausible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. The only possible explanation for those injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside this plane. I know. Are you claiming that there is some place in this plane from which you could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time. You can't mean. Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs to this very cargo hold. What? Then we're in trouble. We may have a second death in our hands, sirs. Hey you, tell me you weren't dead, pal. Quiet. Why are you screaming? He's alive. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible the agent thinks fell over the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean? Suppose a large piece of cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? It would have been Rogini and Pancake for sure, sir. Suppose that man over there would still be breathing. But the reality is that cargo box is there. So there is no point in entertaining or wild hypothetical scenarios. It may be there now, but there is no proof that it was always there. Ha! As if there could have been a window of time when that giant box was not there. I bet there was. What? What can I use to show that it's possible the box wasn't always there where it was now? Yeah. There's a brief stop, so yeah.
Take that!
You were fueled in the Republic of Zhangfa? Yes. Let's find out a short layover in Zhangfa in order to refuel. That wasn't the only reason for the layover. We also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred onto the plane at that time? To further prove my point, let's take a look at what's next to the box in question. Ah, it's labeled Zhangfa Express. Correct. Meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zhangfa. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zhangfa leg of the trip, making a clear drop from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. Ah, but your theory is still very far-fetched. That allowed me a chance to prove how very likely my scenario is. The first order of business will be to examine the piece of cargo in more detail. It's a rather large piece of cargo. There's a tag on it, sir. Let's see, a lift red statue? Never heard of it. Alright, but all I care about is if we can prove it wasn't here at the time of the crime. Let's get investigating, sir. Look here, do not go about touching my possessions without my permission. Ack! Don't rush up on me like that, pal. So this belongs to Mr. LeBlanc, does it? Should see what else I can find out from him. I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc? Of course it is mine. I shipped this fine piece of art from Europe. This lift statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plane must have been a large cargo hold. 10 million cents? I suggest you stop trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, detective. Darn. How do you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year. Though I grow with each revolution of the planet around the sun. I have the distinct impression he continues to madly spin in place. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, so that 10 million cents, is that in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there is a chance that your cargo is related to our murder case. I was wondering if you would allow us to examine it a bit closer. It is a very valuable piece of art, so no, there will be no touching. If Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with the smuggling ring, and it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Zhangfa, we need to question him a bit further. About your statue, Mr. LeBlanc, I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggling ring. Don't say such fantastical things. Those things would not dare. I have the certification of my cargo right here. Do you mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. Can't read this. What does it say? It says as plain as day the cargo was put into a plane in Europe. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. Too bad for you. The statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in the certificate. No, that's... Which means there never was a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there. I respectfully disagree. I can't discount the theory until I see the statue for myself. Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I'm right. This? I know I've seen this somewhere before. This is the Olive Red? This is such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. The statue is a high amount of historic value. After it was unveiled at a museum in Europe, I brought it to this country to exhibit it. A little closer look is warranted here. So this is the infamous Olive Red statue. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you find something? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. Are these eyes made of some sort of gem? It's a real nice shade of orange. For a second I couldn't see what the word jewels. It kind of reminds me of the eyes of the stray cat that lives near my house. Are the eyes supposed to be this color? Is it possible the statue is a fake? The eyes are actually supposed to be red, not orange. That's why it's called the Olive Red.
Eureka!
These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yeah, and pretty. Remind me of sunset when I was in grade school, sir. I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do. That's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I felt ill. I don't care about sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Ah! Sir, they're red! As I thought, the statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc, what do you want? Do you not know I am a busy man? I'll allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The Olive Red? I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It's the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know I wanted to possess this statue? The trigger started 17 years ago. Better grab a chair, sir. Sounds like this is going to be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but what is that? Sympathy for what? You'll see. I'd like you to compare the eyes. The large fellow over there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo. Why the sudden yelling? Now then, oh. There's a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. Ah! Now do you see, Mr. LeBlanc? The statue before us is a fake. A fake? I believe that even further examination will be required, now that we have confirmed that this is indeed a fake. Must be some sort of proof that this was brought on board in Sangfa. And I'll present to you evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. Yeah.
Eureka!
There is clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of a cargo cover getting stuck underneath another piece of cargo. Ah, it's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way. The statue is on top of the cloth. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zhangfa, there was no way that any part of it should wind up under something from Europe. Which means that this fake statue was smuggled on board in Zhangfa. But then what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Agent Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There's only one reason why, to secure proof of smuggling activity aboard this flight. So you say, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. He could have just as easily inspected all of the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true, however, you have it backwards, Franziska. Sure, Agent Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed. Like, had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. Would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, the suspicion would naturally fall into the statue's owner. Would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there is someone involved who was forging or modifying cargo certificates. I guess the victim knew the real version of this was going to get nabbed, huh? Yes, while this photo could be seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof of the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold, a rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could be loaded on board. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all we had to do was hold the Zingfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe-Zingfa leg of the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer, move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now. Miss Von Karma, ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the lift red statue out of the way, we tested the area under it with luminol and there was a reaction. I see. There was a reaction to luminol, an indication there was blood in that spot. Oh, can we stop looking at it now, sirs? It would seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up well. How do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean up all the blood? Yeah, it would have to be the Burgundian cloth. That's why it's all soiled by blood and stuff.
Take that!
The killer used the bloody cough I found inside the suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zingfa. Yes, because otherwise, the cargo crew could have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying that the murder happened before the plane landed in Zingfa? There was no other conceivable timeline for the events of the murder. But if that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. If the murder occurred before we landed in Zingfa, then this becomes highly suspicious. Recall Miss Miele's testimony by Agent Hicks in regard to when we departed Zingfa. I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in a seat at 5 a.m., you know. She claims that Agent Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but it totally contradicts the facts, sir. Well, why would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Miele herself. Yeah. Getting interesting, isn't it? Next time it'll be the ending of this case here. Still have a lot of game to go. So yeah, thanks for watching. Feel free to like and comment and subscribe and check out my Twitch and Ko-Fi and Twitter/X. Next episode we'll be finishing up Turnabout Airlines, like I said. So yeah, hope you look forward to that and peace off.